We're live? Sweet. This is js-ipfs, the second of the calls on Monday. After all hands and go IPFS, coming up next is libp2p, followed maybe by a media train call. But right now, js-ipfs, which is going to be chaired by the Honorable David Diaz, possibly also a dignified choir. There are notes in the Etherpad. If you haven't signed on before, check it out. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, drop them in IRC. But David Diaz, take it away.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. So for this week's call, we will follow. I'm trying to find the window where everyone is. Okay. For this week's call, we will follow the normal process of going through the agenda. But I would also like to try bringing Waffle as a agenda setter for this meeting. We have been cleaning the Waffle boards and basically I know all the issues, cataloging everything. So right now, at least from my perspective, and of course I know all the project is going, so it might be more clear to me and for people that are hacking on js-ipfs every day than other people. But the long lists of issues are now gone, and things are divided by milestone, and it just better. Okay, so looking at the agenda, just giving a quick update from what happened this last week. And it's pretty much on the same lines of what Jeremy shared with everyone. So we have been working really hard on getting interop working. There was a bunch of issues that were found from SecIO, multi-stream, even the speed implementation, which we thought we had that nailed down a couple months ago on some tests that we had run. But apparently there was, thank you for bringing that up, Victor. Note taker. Who is taking notes for this meeting? Or who wants to volunteer to take notes for this chat? Any volunteers? Would someone like to take notes, please?
Thank you, Victor.
Awesome. Thank you. Did you take notes, Victor? Did you say yes? Okay, awesome. All right. So Speedy, there's some frame, messy frames there. So we were fooled to think that our Speedy implementations were super nice, and they were just against themselves, not one against the other. But that's now fixed. We spent a lot of hours there, which we didn't plan for. But at least that's now a thing. If you want to check it out, if you go to the js-ipfs IPFS, there is some example, a folder with examples there. And if you also go to the go peer-to-peer, and then there's also an examples folder there. And if you run those examples, you'll see Go and JS dialing, doing the multi-stream uncheck, doing the SecIO. You can even activate the debug logs and see the whole uncheck happening. It's all just working right. Cool.
One question: where is that code of the fix?
So js-ipfs IPFS, the builds that we have of libp2p for IPFS, as a folder called examples.
No, not that code. The Speedy fix code. The fixes that you needed to do for Speedy.
That was in Speedy Stream. So the Docker team implementation of Speedy. So Go. If you go to /docker/Speedy Stream.
Right. Okay. And I understood Jeremy saying that he also needed to fix something on the JavaScript side. Is that
for Speedy? No.
No. Okay.
Not to our side. We fixed other things in multi-stream, and also we improved a little bit of the logs in multi-stream. If you now print those logs, they are tagged, which makes it so much nicer when you're opening dozens of streams at the same time to know which unchecks belong to which. So yeah, we changed on multi-stream Speedy in JS is all good, or it seems so far. We don't have any data identifying anybody. Cool. So another thing that happened was that Victor, Friedel, Juan, and all the other people, Novel and Nathan, that contributed to the PR that gets get, add, cat, and basically those commands working over the HTTP API. And that's really, really good for the interop endeavor, because when we are doing interop, we really want to spawn two daemons. And before we were able to like add files and get files from js-ipfs, but because the HTTP API endpoint was not on, would mean that like if you spawn the node, then you could not talk with the node to get and add files. And now, thanks to like everyone that was contributing to that PR, that you can check on js-ipfs, everything is working nicely, and we can merge that. I was actually like just getting ready to merge that. I'll merge it after the meetings and release it. That's cool. It also unlocks the ability to get the sharpness tests and the benchmark tests that GoIPFS has to run over js-ipfs. And this is a node especially for you, Frido, because we talked about this last week to enable those. So you can enable that right now. Cool. Another thing is PubSub. So we got into this with peer-to-peer rabbit hole of like getting interop working, because we are really like our main focus was getting PubSub in both lands to interop, so that demos like our apps like Orbit can use it and like use it between Go and JS without a problem. We right now have the PubSub implementation already does subscriptions and publishing. Also does the rebroadcasting. So if a node publishes to another node and that node knows some other nodes that are interested in that message, it will rebroadcast. And we also have a thing called time cache. So we had like a very long discussion of how to treat the messages, because like when you are doing flooding in the network, you don't want to like retransmit the same message 2 times, because if you do that, you create like an infinite loop and you kill the network. You basically melt it. If I send a message to Frido and then Frido sends me the same message, I have to have a way to say, oh, I already see this message. Actually, it was even me that I sent it, but I need to have a mechanism to drop it. And after a lot of review of like what other PubSub systems and even TCP do, what we decided doing was a time cache. So we buffer the packets that we see for 30 seconds. And if it is older, like we try to suppress the repeated packets, especially to avoid replay attacks, by storing the last packets that passed during 30 seconds. Of course, if someone grabs a very old packet, a packet that was 31 seconds ago, and sends it again, we are going to rebroadcast it. But that's a different case where like we just want to avoid for the first 30 seconds those loops that happen when I send a packet to some node, sends to another node, and it gets back to me. And this is typically very fast. And like if this happens over 30 seconds, then like something is probably wrong. And for that, there's other mechanisms, but they will not be injected for now on this PubSub implementation. That's funny. So yeah, that's there. I need to finish the PubSub implementation, basically unsubscribe, be able to send the message for unsubscribe, and like write more tests, just make sure that like everything is like good and polished. But it's looking good. Like we can dial to other peers, we can send the messages, and they get repropagated. And like as you might seen through the RHC log, Samuli and Victor have been playing with the PubSub on GoIPFS and like getting that working with Orbit, and it's looking nice. Cool. Okay. So as Juan said on the first all ends, we have like some big focuses for this week, namely getting like the PubSub done, like the saying, okay, stamp it, merge it, release it, it's done, people can use it. The other thing is getting bit swap interop. One of the things that was added from the first version of PubSub was, let me check my time. Okay, 20 minutes, perfect. Then from the first version of PubSub that was created last Friday was an idea of a topic descriptor. And a topic descriptor, if you haven't read the PubSub notes on the peer-to-peer repo, I advise you to, if you are interested, of course. But the topic descriptor is the thing that it's kind of like the signal block that gets posted to the network, and that other nodes will be able to find it and see, oh, like for this topic, these are the nodes that are allowed to publish. It's a way to avoid, like if I want to publish on another topic, it's a way for me to avoid having some malicious node publishing under that topic and like flooding my feed with messages that are malicious, that are not from the authorized publishers. So, and for that to work, for us to get a block that will tell us which nodes to connect to get the messages, we need to get the interop at the bit-top level. So we need to be able to exchange files, exchange blocks between js-ipfs nodes and go-ipfs nodes. As you know, js-ipfs can exchange blocks with itself, with other js-ipfs nodes. That's how orbit.libp2p has been working so far. We didn't have interop because the missing SACIO, which is not a problem anymore. We know we can dial. We know we can like dial on transports. Me and Jeremy were doing tests yesterday of like dialing between a go-ipfs node and a js-ipfs node. Dials perfectly, and the want list gets sent, but the block never gets transferred, or it doesn't even like I don't even js-ipfs doesn't even acknowledge that it received the block, although go-ipfs tries to send it. So we need to fix that in order to get the topic descriptor, which is going to be this object that's going to enable us to find the authorized publishers for PubSub. Cool. A lot of information. Again, check the PubSub notes. But that's like why bit-swap interop is such a big focus for this week. Cool. All right. So let's open Waffle and go through item by item and see what everyone is doing and if they are blocked with something or if they need help. So far, any questions, or does someone want to share something, say something? No? Cool.
I do have a question regarding the interface in js-ipfs API.
Mm-hmm. For PubSub?
Yeah, for PubSub. So there are two different ways we can do it. So either we are receiving a stream with the data when you're subscribing in the callback, or we just send the result directly there. Is it worth it to actually stream it?
So if you are,
I have
so far what we have been doing is just doing the stream way. Like for things that are infinite, like that we don't know when they are going to end, we just do the stream, which is like what log is doing. If that's the best thing,
I'm just thinking like there is a limit on the message size in the network, right? So there is not going to be an infinite size.
Oh, sorry, maybe I didn't get your question right. So what are we exactly?
So let me show you my example. If you see my screen,
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are subscribing to a message.
Yeah.
And either we are returning a stream, or maybe we just have the data directly.
But then, so it's going to be a feed. So the second example,
it's going to be many messages.
Yeah.
Many messages.
Yeah. So the feed is over here, right? The feed, the call.
Yeah. So also note that you have to have a way to say I don't want this feed anymore somehow, right? Otherwise you are going to have a open connection to go-ipfs forever.
On that note, I want to mention something. We talked about this before, that the way IPFS log tail is being done currently is bad. Just opening a long-running HTTP connection and just not closing it ever until the client closes is super tricky. Some browsers can't even just close this thing unless you kill the page, and it's some issues. So I'm really not a big fan of adding such a major API using such a lacking way of doing things. Like even polling would be better.
Polling, like pagination, or even having WebSockets for that.
Anything
would make more sense. I'm not. Jeremy, do you want to join the conversation here for a second?
I can open up an issue. We can discuss it though.
Okay. Okay, because what I was going to say, so Jeremy, you can listen to this part, which is in order to have a streaming PubSub feed, it would be very useful for the people that are doing the browser clients to have something better than opening a socket forever and getting like a WebSockets endpoint for that, or even like pagination somehow. Like if we
Pagination?
can pagination
For what?
for the being able to say I want 10 more events, I want 10 more things, I want like some more
polling,
right?
XHR polling, anything
Okay.
not a long-standing HTTP request.
Yeah, like
WebSockets for the API.
Yeah, that's one option.
By when?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like pulling you in, because that might not be a thing that happens this week.
This week? No.
Yeah, so
absolutely not. Don't even consider it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Hear the man.
From my side, this is not a thing that needs to happen now. I just want to make sure we don't get stuck with this, because oh, this worked now, and oh, let's leave it, which log tail is still there.
Not definitely, as we know, HTTP API has to be revisited, especially for these things. Okay, open an issue, Victor, and let's try to get to what is the best solution now, and get that done, and then make sure that that discussion keeps open until we revisit HTTP API. Okay, let's go to Waffle then. Cool. Can we go to Waffle? All right. So if you have the Waffle board open, you can see that the milestone one is
David, if you want, you can actually share your screen with the Waffle board, and we can see what you're looking at as you're going through it.
It's true. Thank you. Okay, there you go. You see my mouse and stuff? Oh, right.
Yep.
I'm going to, so you see from one conversation that we had, me, Emily, Matt, and Jeremy, we I know the process management process doc, it's not finished, but we kind of converge to agree on having an inbox and a backlog. The inbox is just everything that gets opened on GitHub repos gets dropped in the inbox automatically by Waffle. The backlog is we need to do these things, but they're not exactly part of the milestone. And leaving them hanging on inbox is very cognitive resource consuming, because have I processed this? Yep. No. Why is that? So now we have a backlog which this has to happen. Doesn't have to happen now. Not a priority. Can become a priority. But at least we have looked at it, and we kind of digested it a little bit, and then we are saving it for later when we need. So now we have the columns. You can see that milestone 1 is done. Milestone 2 is again the quality and correctness, and we have a bunch of issues here. Let's go one by one and just say what it is and what's the state of it. Sounds good? Cool. So first one, as Victor says, client should accept content from standard in. Did you have time to check that, Victor?
No, not at all.
Okay. Do you plan to do it this week? Or
right now I'm looking at the PubSub stuff. Gonna try to help out with some of this stuff. And then I started working on the second one, the Vice Cat.
Okay.
Oh no, the sub-Vice stuff. The cat stuff should be ready at this point to be merged, I think.
Okay, nice. Okay, so probably merge after merging the fix for the HTTP 8 points. Is there an order there, or?
No, they shouldn't be depending on each other. Basically, the cat hash is just fixing the argument stuff.
Okay, so can I change this quickly, or? Yes. Oh, nice. I'll do the review and merge it. Cool.
Yeah.
So cat subfiles, you said you are working on this one?
Yeah. I started working on it based on what you guys wrote down. So it will be a separate resolve module to figure out which would be the correct hash to actually cat.
Okay. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, the resolver, right? Getting the resolver to happen. Which, if you saw the RC log, Nicola also wants a resolver for IPLD. So following the same idea of having a separate module just for that, to give a DAG service and a path, and it resolves. you might want to look to do that for IPLD as well. Doesn't have to be at the same time, but it will be the same idea.
The IPLD resolver already exists. That's done. That's not a thing that needs to be written.
It's true. Sorry. So do we need to break that into a separate module?
Yeah, I will work with Nicola to break that out. I'm not sure it's needed, but we will work on that. But the IPLD resolver already exists. I wrote that a while back.
All
and it just
right.
takes a service and just resolves against it.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool. Okay. So there is one issue here about assumptions or about you need dog caches. This was wires that open. It is, we have some tests that assume that a Go IPFS repo will come with a set of files. And we did that in the beginning because it was just the easiest way, just copy a Go IPFS repo and put it on tests and do tests over it. But when those default tests change, for example, Lars added the GPG key for the init docs, then the ashes change and it breaks it. So what we need to do here is basically add the files that we have to get a habit, and we have failed to do this often, and we are kind of getting better now at it. It's each time we write a file with tests, the setup should be part of the test as well. Any assumption that we have that there is setup scripts for tests or assumptions of what already there is, or even the ports that the test should use should be always port 0 and let the program get a random port so we don't get those errors of port already being used. We should move towards that, and moving towards that will also enable us to move faster with the development, because we will be able to test just a small set, or run just a small set of the tests for the specific features that we are changing. Otherwise, we are always running the whole thing, and it's confusing and cumbersome, and we need to improve on that. So yeah, I will look at this after DEF CON. Benchmarks. So Friedel, now with the interface IPFS core files, IPFS over API test PR merged, you can do this
it's not
as well, right?
It's not merged yet, technically, I think, but yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay,
it's ready. So I will do this after bitswap. So I will first work on bitswap and interop. I will also do a little bit of investigation around sec.io and speed things, and then I will do the benchmark script as described in that issue to use the Go IPFS benchmarks thing that Jeremy wrote, IPFS whatever against js-ipfs.
Propose a new name. It's probably better.
So yeah, maybe we should rename it. I'm gonna ask Jeremy if he's up for renaming it.
Yeah, he's up for renaming it, sure. Cool. Okay, next one. We have 6 minutes. Let's go through these. So the next one is interface IPFS core tests for the Swarm API. These basically, you can see my mouse, right? So if I'm pointing here, you can, this basically needs the support to dial to a multi-other without a peer ID. It's the last piece that it's required, because before we always expected for a multi-other to have the /IPFS/NID, and Go IPFS doesn't need that because it can extract that from the sec.io and check. And now we also have that, so we can add this feature in. Victory is handling this, but in terms of priority, and especially for DEF CON things, this is not a priority for this feature. So if you are busy with PubSub, keep being busy with PubSub. That's more important. So yeah, this interface IPFS core test for Files API is a pull request that we keep mentioning. Going to merge it today. I'm going to add this myself here. Just click the button in front of everyone, and then CI blows up. I'm not sure if you hear Jeremy. Sorry, he was just talking.
Press the button.
Okay.
CI is green, man.
Yeah, I need to. Okay, interop tests. So interop tests, we have scripts that we can run to get interop. The interop test idea is to get something that we can use to run on CI. That requires builds of these things so that the CI can fetch the right build for the architecture. It's compiled language stuff. We will not do that this week because it's not important or not super urgent to see CI running our tests. We do have to have a repo, and I think the faster way, and like from all the discussions I've been having with Juan, Jeremy, Frido, is getting a repo with even like a bash script that like pulls the modules, compiles everything there, and like runs it so that we can have that repo that knows how to compile stuff to run on CI. Because if each time we need to do interop, we need to create like builds for the things that we are building, it gets very expensive. But again, not urgent for this week. There is this Go IPFS sometimes close the stream preemptively. Not sure if you have checked this again. This is a bug on adding files that only happens on the browser. Jeremy is still looking at that, but he has another time to test it more. Also not urgent for this week, I hope, unless it bites us. There is this, go ahead, Peter.
Would it be possible to have like a label for the most important thing, or like put them in the top, or something like that?
So should we like have a sprint label so that like says, oh, this is for this sprint?
It would be sprint as like a label like happening this week or something like that.
Yeah, like without the sprint, right? Just like this week. Yeah, I like that.
Like a top priority label kind of thing.
Can I add like labels here closely? No, I have to click the thing.
So to clarify with that, that's what the ready pile is often used for. So that you're ready, the things that are marked as ready are the things that are like eminently about to be worked on, as opposed to stuff that's in your backlog, which is like, we'll get to that soon, but it's not the stuff we're working on this sprint or in the next.
Okay.
But that's
isn't
that confusing?
I'm just thinking we have
ready to ship rather than ready to be worked on. I don't know. For me, that's
so that, like, I mean, we don't need to derail into that conversation. I just wanted to throw in that, and I'll follow up with more reference info.
All right.
2 minutes.
Okay, so this is documentation, the put stream and get stream, or it is documentation? No,
this
it is
not
writing
documentation.
tests.
This is spec change. So
yeah.
this is,
or
we can move this out of milestone 2 because this is a longer discussion around how to integrate the different types of streams into interface IPFS core. And
so this would go like to developer experience kind of stuff?
Yeah, let's put that to milestone 4.
There is the cancelable requests. This is like a very long discussion that needs a bike shedding. We are not saying that we are going to finish this in this quarter or in this milestone. It's just like something that needs to happen. The discussion needs to happen right now or starting. We need to start like discussing this right now because it's a very big deal for the whole project, but there is no clear way to nail this down. Like we don't know how much time it will take. We just need to keep like researching how to do the cancelable request things to find a way that gets us very excited. Again, not urgent, but definitely pay attention to that. Like everyone that's doing the JavaScript things, pay attention to this thread and like bring your input if you have the time. Cool. So sharpness tests. I have this here, and like it is like the idea is like running the sharpness test that GoIPFS has over js-ipfs. Chris started working on it, but he's now pretty busy with conferences and stuff. So not sure if this is going to happen. Let me ping him and I check how available he is to help us on that. And then there is like the remaining definitions of the specs. Victor is handling the DHT1 and MMFS one. This name API might come after. And again, this is like defining the spec and like porting the test from js-ipfs API and bringing it to the interface IPFS core. There is this js-ipfs bit swap, which is what we said this week. It's a priority. Frido's face is here. And my God, like shouldn't need second. Okay, Matt. Wow, we are thumbs up. Okay, you can check. So a lot of these issues here are like related with the things that we already discussed. So yeah, does everyone has a clear picture of what they should be focused this week? Does anyone has a question on that? Cool. Okay. Awesome. This was a good call. Maybe if we had like 10 minutes more, it'd be awesome. But we don't. Let's go to peer-to-peer.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. I'm not going to even wait.